you looking for answers about extraterrestrials or maybe the true meaning of life? Then you have come to the right place. Welcome to the Ivan Teller online broadcast. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel. And for more details, please visit ivanteller.com and learn more about your galactic families.
Okay. Greetings all. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully this records. Blessings all. Tonight, yeah, my energy is all over the place because of the, not sure if this is going to record correctly or what's going on, so yeah, let that go. I believe that Mantis is here, Insectoids. I believe it's a message from the Insectoids. We'll see how that goes. If anybody has any requests, please share your thoughts, or just let anybody come through.
Yeah, I do actually.
Sure.
This is Rowie.
Oh.
I would love to hear from Bill Hicks, from William Bill Hicks.
Bill Hicks.
Do you remember the comedian?
I've heard of the name. I know of him, kind of.
Okay, maybe I'll send you a link and you can work on connecting for another time.
Okay. Yeah, that was another one I need to connect with.
Yeah, he died quite early. He died in his sort of mid-30s, and I mean, he was talking about UFOs and everything in his comic speech, his comic sketches, and all this type of stuff. And very far out individual.
Okay. Well, even if I don't know who he is, I can probably still connect to him. We'll see.
Yeah, let's see.
We'll see how it goes.
Okay, blessings to you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Before we
I received the ID yesterday. I really don't know what that could be. The thing is elemental human. I really don't know what is it.
Elemental human.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll just go with that. Okay. All right. Well, we can just leave it open for anybody to come through. Thank you all for being here. Blessings. Ground and the Google drama wash away. So, all right, I'll go down for meditation, and we'll see who comes through. I believe the Mantis. One thing about the Mantis, yeah, it does feel like a Mantis now. Well, now he's revealing himself. It's going to be rough around the edges, is what I feel. Not in a bad way, but we'll just see what happens. Okay, here we go. Greetings. We are Mantis. One moment. We are gathering ourselves. This time is so important. The growth of your planet is shifting into a new horizon, finally. It is always shifting, yes, but now it's becoming more awakened to its surroundings. You can call me Kyle. Reason we are around this one is because we can get our message out. Reason we are here is to express our gratitude to those who are awakened to our messages. We are careful of who we talk to. There's much skepticism of this message and other messages. We are gathering information always of who to speak to. Our star seeds are, unfortunately, are going through much pain of not knowing themselves, because when they see who they truly are, they get frightened and go nowhere. So this is a element we have to deal with. When you see yourself connected to a mantis species, it is not something that you can easily connect to, of course. It's the opposite of your kind at this time. Realize that many insectoids, planets, when they saw humans or even heard of humans, they laughed it off at one time in their history. Seeing a human is quite humorous and frightening also, depending on what species you are, where they are in their evolution. Obviously, if you're a higher vibration, you're not afraid, but this wasn't the case for all insectoids. Hearing of human interactions was humorous. Just to hear about what they looked like was strange. You would think they would be telling you a joke if something like that actually exists. Man, our civilization, we were well known of humans through our evolution. Humans helped us evolve. But other species of insectoid that are ancient had trouble with the human interaction. You could say the Aryan Wars in some ways started because of that. In some regard. Because of change. Something new was here. Of course, it all depends on who you speak to. But our message here is to welcome you to our energies, our presence. And we tell you that we are not frightening, as some might be. Of course, in looks, but that is all. Our viewpoints, some are not exactly friendly because they don't like the human and how the human evolved. But that does not go for all insectoids. Many are not letting go of the past. That's okay. If there's any messages for us, or any questions, please.
Hello, Kyle. This is Neil.
Hello.
Hello. I just want to start off by saying I've got a lot of love for your species. I have strong connections with you, and I think you are an incredible race. So yeah, I just want to express my love and appreciation for you coming through today. Okay, so I just want to get a few sort of background information on you, just in case anybody doesn't know. So,
Yes.
can you tell me what density you're at?
4th density.
Beautiful. Okay, so I think most people understand how your sort of physical description already. So I'll ask some questions about you in particular. So where are you just now? Are you on a planet, or are you on a ship, or are you on Earth?
We are on a ship around Earth's orbit, mostly around your moon at this time.
Can you tell us what you're doing there?
Observing, assisting with Earth's ascension through our methods, speaking to Palladians at this time, giving our assistance as much as we can.
Okay. Now, there's just one thing. There's a couple of personal questions I have. And one thing you talked about is human history. How some of the mantis are not in agreement with humans because of our history. So what I'm interested in is, can you tell us a little bit about your sort of history and how that helped you evolve up to the 4th density, please?
Was actually mostly insectoids that don't want to go named at this time. I imagine you can point them out. The mantis and the human, yes, the mantis and the human have always been close. Through our evolution, we were born, many of us around the Zetas, not all. Many Palladians shared our love to us in the beginning as we were evolving from, you could say, a curious idea to see us fluctuate in an alien environment. If that makes any sense. As our evolution was rough in the beginning because we had trouble understanding human form because ours is so different. But over time, because we don't go by, yes, we can say we went by looks, but we go by the soul, who you are. And we had trouble understanding the human soul, of how its thought process was different than ours. Its movement was so different. It's how it carried itself, all these things threw us back because we were so different. We did not have the same attributes. So they were studying us as we were studying them. And some get angry with the human, or you call it Palladian, however you want to see it, the human form, because it was unnatural. So we have mantis who are kind of deceiving to humans. It's because they just don't care much for, there's more to it than this, but the form of the human. They don't agree with it. They don't want it in their environment. So that's why you see conflict. But the majority of mantis have adapted and learned these different ways of communicating and expressions of love, as our collective is more in telepathy, the mind, same as the Zetas. Of course, many mantis have personalities that are a little bit little bit eccentric, as some might say. But some of us are trying to be civil and not to, as we enter into, such as this world, enter into your environment where we are going to communicate more often in the future. We're trying to be as calm and as easygoing as possible without being too animated. As your evolution moves forward, we will move with you. So you can see more of ourselves. But right now we're keeping some of our personality traits back. So it's not too much. You could say we are whispering to you right now just to keep it easy. Take the communications as easy as possible.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, now one other question that sort of follows up from that is, if people are interested in taking an infusion from your species, what would the benefits be?
It all depends. It's not always recommended at this time. It's telepathy, but at this time I don't believe it would be beneficial. It is controversial because you could say it heightens all your senses, and at your density it might not be a good idea. We hear bugs in between your walls and things of that sort. You might hear too much, see too much, and become very fragile. So we're being careful with that.
Okay, I understand. Okay, thank you for that. I'll pass it over now. It's Christy next. Thank you.
Yes.
Hello, Kyle. This is Christy.
Hello.
I have Mantis family and guides. Do you know who they are? Are you familiar with who they are?
They are another group that I am not familiar with. Our group is more of space travel. Yours is more of planetary family. I do not believe they leave their planet very often, at least the ones that are connected to you. But I am not familiar with who they are at this time.
Okay. Okay. There's no. I don't think that there would be like a question then. I'll just pass the mic then. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Cal. This is Sarah.
Hello.
Greetings.
Greetings.
I have a question about the origin of the mantic species and the human species interrelationship.
Yes.
At any time was our DNA intermingled in our history, in the Earth history?
Earth. Yes. But, one moment, I must be careful. It is around more of your Asian cultures have our DNA. Some in your African nations, but very little, but mostly in your Asian cultures. But now it's been, you could say, diluted over time.
And do you have any idea of why the two races were intermingled in that fashion, DNA-wise?
At one time, mantis was used as a, you could say, a mind control DNA that was used in humans so they could be used improperly. Though, as we understand, mantis was not the one part of this. It was other species that knew of its properties. So it is in your religions, as for Asian religions, of our presence. And there's parts of Cambodia also where our DNA was used.
Really? And do I have any connection to the mantic species? Can you hear me?
They were doing this for as a trade.
In Cambodia?
Yes, and in your Asian cultures too.
Do I have any relationship to the mantic species?
I believe so, but it is very ancient time. It was a very calm time. It was a time of learning and enjoyment and scientific discovery. Also, space travel, which is part of this, which is part of the scientific discovery.
And do you know how long ago were the mantic beings uh, interacting with the human species? Can you hear me? Yes, I think he's having a bit of computer problems.
Yeah, there's been a lot of this happening lately. I think it's with the Gaia changes. But we'll just wait and let them jump back in.
Okay. No, that's
Yeah, while we're
interesting what you're
waiting,
saying.
I'll give you an example of what the mantis language is like because I can speak it. Wait a minute, I'll let you see that. Can't do it for a long time because it's like my mouth starts drying up. That's what it's like.
Was practicing that today, Neil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Logan said it sounds like those crab things off of that movie called The Dark Crystal.
Have Logan do it.
I don't think he can though. Or can you,
I
Logan?
can't do that. I cannot make that sound.
That's awesome, Neil.
I've got a connection with them now. I think I've been told that I've had an infusion from them because I saw a mantis when I was a kid. They took me when I was a kid and they gave me like, well, I know I definitely got Zeta Grey, but yeah, I got mantis as well. I was told I've had mantis infusion as well. But yeah, I don't know exactly what it does, the infusion.
Probably just for some that can handle it or that are along that line, I would think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they choose.
No, I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I got kicked out, and then the new version was here when I came about.
Oh, you could change it to the original version on the right-hand side at the top. It gives you an option to go back to the original version.
I'm glad it's still recording. That's saying something. I think it's still recording.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait a minute. Here, let me come back. I'm gonna go back in the other. All right, I'll be back.
Classic version.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they changed it. It's like
There's no
they
reason.
changed it and made it worse.
Hmm.
It's typical humans, though. We always want change, we embrace change, but when it's put in front of us, we're like, oh no, I want the old way.
Like things that are complicated. Like if it's running smooth, it's like we'll change it and make it a bit more complicated.
So, all right. Well, we can go back in. I think they're messing with this, the record side. It seems.
Yeah.
You're also there, and
Yeah,
I
it's
got
still live.
yeah, man, I got thrown out, and I was put into the new version somewhere, So,
Yeah.
so I got transported basically.
Yeah. Teleported into another room.
Jeez. So, okay, all right. Let's. Yeah, I'm surprised you're all still there. The way I got thrown out, I thought everybody got kicked out.
Yeah,
Okay.
you got beamed up there.
Yeah, apparently I felt like I got beamed out. Yeah.
You have missing time.
Yeah, quick
Yeah.
You've been gone 2
You guys
hours.
witnessed it too.
You've been gone
Yeah,
2
Marcus were like-
hours.
It is
Yeah.
now an hour. Where have you been?
Yeah.
It's been an hour.
Yeah.
They've been waiting an hour.
Yeah. That's great. Just. I have no problem with change as long as change works.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Change is not working. Like, okay. Yeah, he's still here. I can still connect. I can reconnect. So
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, cool.
it's just of course, might have to start up where we left off. But
Yeah, that's all right. Just take your time. It's fine.
yeah, he's right here, so it's not a problem. Slowly coming back. It is much change is happening here. Those that are running this program wish to remove the old, and when they're doing this, they are tampering what is working at this time. Basically, they don't know what they're doing. From what our point of view is. We're still connecting. One moment. This is an exciting time for us to connect to humanity as you go through these changes. You're still connecting, but do you have a question? Or we can
Yes.
proceed. Yes.
I was asking, when was the last time the humans had any interaction with the mantic species?
Interactions with in your ancient times. Oh, it's of course I mentioned on other planets, but on your world, it was mostly during ancient times, Atlantis. Even time your Asian cultures, they saw us and still see us at times. When we make appearances, you'll find this on your internet of appearance of a mantis. We are connected to the Asians more than they understand. But realize our mantis energies, yes, we've had DNA taken from us and used in a not so friendly way, but that wasn't always the case. It has been reversed at this time. But during your Atlantean times and Lemurian times, as your islands were moving around after Atlantis, around your Hawaii area is where we had a residence at one time. Hopefully that answers your question.
Yes. And what is your role at the moment?
Many roles. Connecting with humanity, understanding, studying humanity, of how you could say planning for first contact, how we interact. Many star seeds on your world, we are making ourselves known but not too well known, or it brings in fear. But some star seeds that we are connected to, we can steer them into more of a broader view of your world, such through dreams, through astral travel, but dreams that are not forgotten, that stay. Because some have dreams of on a insectoid planet. And these dreams are mostly positive, some negative, unfortunately, because they have karma they must clear out. So you could say my work is with the brain of how we can communicate better. We're always in study.
Yeah.
So is everybody.
Mm-hmm. And what other species would you include in this idea of insectoid species? Like you said, you're mantics.
Yeah. Oh, yes. All insectoids. Ants, the ant species,
Mm-hmm.
the fly, all insectoids.
Okay, so which insectoid language is this?
One moment. One moment. I'm still attaching myself to this one. 1 second. It is. It is part mantis, part ant also. You could say it's a combination of languages within both.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Much love.
Much love.
Hello. I
Yes.
just want to say I respect you deeply, and I bow my antenna to you in respect. I was wondering which type of creature came first in this universe. Was it the insectoids or the reptilians?
Insectoids claim more of a insectoids. Reptilians are, they have more of a brute force, you could say. Of course, we have that too, but more insectoids. Of course, when you talk to them, reptilian, they have another, they will say something else.
Okay, thank you. Much love.
Much love.
Okay, Roy, you're next.
Greetings, Kyle.
Greetings.
My name's Rowie. I've got a couple questions for you.
Yes.
I'm quite interested in the mantid species myself, so I'd like to know, since I believe personally you're quite an ancient race, although there's probably quite many few different insectoid races. Do you still have a hive mind, or are you individualistic in your thought?
Oh. At this time, it's hive mind. It keeps us out of trouble. But not all are like this. But at this time, we find it most comfortable to be. Of course, we could think freely, but we still connect, like you're connected to a government of reasonable messages, reasonable actions, like family. Think of it like that.
And is it comparable or similar to what we may call a collective consciousness or a unity consciousness?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Do you also have other races that work for you? Like, if you can't carry out a task, you would have a genetically created race that would carry out a task you weren't able to do.
Yes. Some are the Zetas.
Mm-hmm.
We do have AI that we work with.
Okay, and are they humanoid in
Zetas, AI
Yeah.
is, but not all. Some is, some is not. Some are ships that go into regions that we don't feel safe to go into, so we send just like what you would do.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as for Zetas, more human, more of a partnership as for the Zetas. But some Zetas, as you know through your conversations, that some are not human, they are more robotic. So we use them also at times. But only for areas of discovery where we can't go.
Segueing on discovery, my final question would be, what would be your most profound scientific discovery, since I know your species loves science?
Science discovery. It's at this time that it's the evolution of the human being is quite interesting. More species are becoming human. Of course, insectoids is some are transitioning to that form. Not necessarily successful though. It's becoming more of a common form.
And that's the thought process, or?
Yes. Thought process, all of it in general, basically. Yes, thought process.
Yeah.
Just, yes, thought process. Yes, you want to go, yes. And human form also.
Wow, okay.
The body is evolving. But yes, spiritually, yes. That's where it's getting fascinating.
It would be interesting to see the dynamics of the differences and how it's all integrating.
Yes, and also
in that upline.
Yes, and also worlds that are created by not just humans but by insectoids. New worlds that are developed on a daily basis are always. The knowledge there is immense, created by insectoids and humans. It's always fascinating.
So there's an alliance of humans and insectoid races?
Of course. Yes.
Okay. Of course. Okay, and they had did they have involvement with when life was created and seeded on this planet, was there involvement with your race and as well when it came to the design of insects and mantids?
We were around, but there were others here before us. Many
Okay,
came
so
here. Many came here because they had no choice.
uh-huh. And
As you,
so a lot of the insects or mantids or the things we see, they were sort of based on your appearance or other species
yes,
appearance that were like you, correct?
correct. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Kyle. That was awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All my love to you.
Blessings to you all.
Okay, Brian, if you want to go ahead, mate.
Go ahead.
Hello, this is Logan again, or whatever. I just want to ask about the dudes in my room, or to be more specific, the Zetas that have been watching me for a while.
Yes.
Go ahead.
It's not just Zetas, it's Palladians
Hmm.
also. The Zetas are more of your family, but you have connection with the Palladians, of course.
Hmm.
But Zetas are more of your, you could say, soul family in many ways. This is a family you joined to discover the universe. You found it more interesting to be part of their culture, the way they see things, the way they get involved. But as for why they are just letting you know that they are your family. They mean you no harm, of course. But they are just there to watch over you and to, you can say, share their information to the world when you're ready. Their side of it.
And did they do any experiments with me or anything?
A moment. I see. I do not believe so. I do not see them as negative, but I do not see that. They're not making themselves that. No, I don't think so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's nothing to fear there. As far as I can see, there's nothing to fear. Is there anything else before I leave?
Yeah, Michelle has a question.
Yes.
Hi, Kyle. This is Michelle. I had a situation last week in which it was brought to my attention. I'm just going to throw out 3 terms and see if they resonate with you. Basically, a human friend, kind of seeming to malfunction, and what I was told or what was intuited was manufactured self-hate. Let's see, something about the DNA not being in good working order, and insectoid. Does that ring any bells for you? Like a thing that happens or that you know to happen with maybe old contracts or certain species of insectoid, with those things happening?
Yes.
Kind of like mental breakdowns.
Oh, yes, of course.
Yeah.
Mental break, yes, unfortunately.
So could you elaborate on that a little for me, please?
Such as mental breakdowns?
Yes, related to insectoid manufactured self-hate and just DNA that's like not working properly.
Yes, because the human the human insectoid does not always blend too well, depending on how much DNA you have.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, it does cause mental illness, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
Many of those that have brain dysfunction
Mm-hmm.
are part of our species. But some of them have much karma
Mm-hmm.
they have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
They chose all that to go. So they realized what experience they were going to encounter when they came into it. Not all, but some have many debts to pay to society, you can say,
Mm-hmm.
that were unjust to many in the universe at one time. So they are here with this environment, this experience. This is teaching them much to see what love is, as you could say their mind is not exactly fully functional. They see the love of humanity and get to see, not to say human as a label, but to see how the human spirit, or the spirit I should say, how the kindness of a spirit is, and to show them that, to give them a peace of mind that they don't have to be angry all the time, vicious. Hopefully that makes some kind of sense.
Well, this particular individual is not angry or vicious, but more like fear-based, and seems to there's so much self-hate in that.
Yes.
And so I do want to know about that, but I also want to know if it is appropriate if they're doing karmic things, or if there's anything that can be done to help this particular individual not suffer so greatly.
One moment. Yes, 1 second. Is realize at one time for this individual, they were free-spirited. They took chances, and much of it was not, their choices were not, these were not good choices. So when they made these choices, they had a lot of negative repercussions from them. So when they're coming into this world, a lot of that still is sticking with them, where they're scared of many things, because, but not just that, it is multiple lifetimes that are all seem to be into one, unfortunately. It is like it's scaring up what it does not need to do. It is pulling in lifetimes that needed to be let go of a long time ago. It's like it's resurrecting the dead in some regard. It's resurrecting lifetimes that need to be forgotten. It's over with. Those lessons have been learned, but apparently, from what this individual is doing, is bringing it back. And to heal this person, they need to find peace within themselves. This is not there. It would be easier for them to meditate, feels like a spa would be good for this person.
Mm-hmm.
Something of that order were to relax. If I had anything, it would be relax. Just find a relaxing place for this person, if it's even possible. That's even in the cards.
I don't even know.
But this person is not relaxing at all. It's all this tension is built up. It's making this one's life a nightmare, you could say, within the mind, unfortunately. And to connect to this person, sometimes through love works for this person, if that's even possible. But love is one way to solve this. But of course, they must go about it on their own terms.
Right.
So you can look at it like, if you give them options, eventually maybe a walk in the park is one way, if that's even possible for this person. just a release, a way, just something that is relaxing to this individual would be the way to go.
I so appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Blessings.
Awesome.
Okay, how are Ivan's energy levels now?
It's probably best if I go. It's been a while. This, especially the technical difficulties. It's probably best.
Yeah, that's fine.
Exit.
Okay, just want to say thank you very much for coming through and much love to you.
Thank you. Blessings. We will return. Thank you. Okay.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Awesome, Ivan.
Welcome. Thank you. I don't know, Neil, if you wanted to go give it a shot.
Just give me a sec.
Warm me up. Yeah, Brian, I saw a blue plate in. If you're still there.
Oh yeah, for Logan.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you hear that, Logan?
A what?
Blue Palladium.
Yeah.
A blue Palladian.
Yeah.
I believe I've seen this dude. I believe I've seen him on a picture before.
Probably.
It was a book at my school called Unexplained, and I saw this blue-looking, kind of like a Zeta alien. Is he connected with me somehow?
Oh yeah. Well, I don't think it's a Zeta, but he is a blue Palladian. He might have Zetas around him. Which is why you have those Zetas there.
Like workers. Stuff
Yeah. Or family. Yeah.
Yeah, because that dude looked more like a not really a Pleiadian, but more like a Zeta than a Pleiadian. So it's hard to tell if he's a Zeta or a Pleiadian, kind of like mixed DNA.
You might have mixed DNA.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you
Dude,
so much.
that's awesome because I've seen this dude on pictures before. I just haven't seen him like face to face.
Yeah.
So it's amazing that you can point that out to me.
No,
Thank you.
Well, you saw him like in a dream.
No, I never saw him in a dream.
Oh, okay.
I never even.
Okay.
I never even knew that I've seen him.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Thanks. Wait a minute.
Cool. Okay.
I can feel there's this incarnation I've got, and she was a witch, and I can feel her. She's wanting to come through. She's pushing to come through, and I felt her like earlier as well. But she's neutral. But there was a whole story that we got out of it, and Christy, who's in the room, she was part of it, and so was Claire as well. So maybe we can start off, like me and Christy will tell you the whole story about what happened in that lifetime, so you'll get like because we've got the whole lifetime, and then I can channel, because I can feel her. She's like, she really wants to come through, and she's quite powerful, like. So, right, can you remember the whole story, Christy?
Yeah, you was like the elder, like the crone witch, and
yeah.
I was like, you had found me like on the street, like I was, and you raised me like a stepmother, and taught me all that you knew about the witchcraft and everything like that, because you was a gray witch, Yeah, so that's what you told me.
And before that, like, I was this female then, and I was in France. Okay, I'm not sure where in France it was, but I was in France, and I met this when I was really beautiful. And when I was young, I met this man, and he was like in politics, and this man became he was into dark magic, and he took me like I started a relationship with him, and I like totally adored this man. Like I was totally in love with him, and he was sort of manipulating me, and he was teaching me about dark arts, because he could see that I had like these abilities, so he was teaching me like these dark arts, and he sort of had me under a spell as well, but I wasn't aware that he had me under a spell. And it was like he had me under a spell, and he he was manipulating me and getting me to do a lot of negative things, but I would just do them because I loved him so much. And he ended up they used to have rituals where they would sacrifice people, and he ended up killing I think he had an affair. He was also sleeping with my sister, but I didn't know about that. And he ended up killing my parents in one of these rituals, but I never knew it was my parents. And he killed the pair of them. And I found out that he told me that he had done this when he realised, and then I was like, that was it. He was like my sworn enemy from then. And I ran away from him. I broke somehow. I was strong enough to break away from the spell, and I ran away. And I moved out. I became like a recluse, and I lived in this cottage in the woods. And I started making I swore my revenge upon him, and I started making myself more powerful, and I started learning more about magic on my own from what he had told me, and I started learning more, and I started learning more about light magic as well, and I started getting myself more and more powerful. And then that's when I met Christy one time, because I used to go into the nearest town or the city, and used to go there for food and stuff, obviously. And I saw Christy once. I think it was in a marketplace. I saw her, and she stole the reason that I liked Christy is because you stole something from me, didn't you? There was something you stole from me.
Mhm. Yeah.
And I was amazed how you could actually have done that to me, because I was amazed that somebody would be able to steal from me.
Mhm.
And that sparked my interest in you. And then you were homeless, was that right? I think you were homeless.
Yeah. I didn't have a house. I pickpocketed off of the street and did that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So I saw that there was something in her that she must have had some ability that she was able to steal from me. So I took her under my wing, and she lived with me, and then I started training her up, and she grew up, and she was extremely beautiful, and I was getting older by this point, and so the way that we start and you also had a hatred for men. I think I taught you that. That's right. I taught you I taught you to hate men as well, and I did that on purpose because I wanted you to do the work for me. So the work. So what happened was I'd sworn my revenge upon this man, and he was in politics. He was very high in politics, and he was part of this dark order. And what Christy would do, she would go on like missions into the city, and she would what she would do is she would sleep. Oh yeah, I'll let you tell it, because it'd be better if it comes from you now, Christy.
Like going into the city.
Yeah.
Well, just finding out more information on all their ritual stuff and everything that they did, and then that's when I had met Claire, too, because she was like in a relationship with a boyfriend or however, and she was being in a bad relationship anyway. So she moved in with me, or we moved in. We didn't live with you, but
yeah, that's right.
we moved somewhere together, and then I just was going back to you and telling you all about her, that she could do magic too, and she would help me in the plan that we had to take down that is a warlock, wasn't he? Like a warlock or something?
Yeah, because you used to sleep with a lot of guys then. That's how you used to seduce them, a lot of the politicians.
Yeah.
And the powerful individuals to find out the information. And
Yeah.
sometimes we would do. Remember, you used to drug them, and they would fall asleep, or they would get so drunk they would fall asleep, and then I would come. I remember I used to come, and I would come into the house where they were, and I used to do these rituals. We used to do like magic on them I'm not sure what we were doing. It was to either get more information out of them, or it was to get them to do what we wanted. Because we were trying to, I can remember, because the whole plan was that we could see, it wasn't just a revenge thing, it was a revenge thing in the beginning, but then after you found the information out, it switched from revenge to, we realised what they were trying to do, this dark order, and they were trying to they were going to change everything. They were going to blacken the land, they were going to bring all this, they were bringing this dark energy in, and they were trying to create all these changes in the politics and in the people, and it was going to create this real darkness over everyone. So I can remember there was a switch. I still wanted revenge on them, but there was a switch where it was like that it had to be stopped. This order, I can feel her energy just now, but yeah, it was like it had to be stopped because it was going to be like if they got away with this, it would have been way out of hand, and we wouldn't. It was going to cause extreme negativity. So yeah, that's that. That is what. Yeah, and then you met Claire. You saw Claire getting thrown out on the street by her husband, and she would beat her up, and he threw her out on the street.
Yeah.
And then you took her under your wing, because if the witches always work in threes, there's always, what is it, Christy? There's a crone.
The crone, the mother, and then the maiden.
And then the maiden, yeah. So Christy was the mother, I was the crone, and Claire was the maiden. And we set it up so that I never met Claire. Well, I did meet Claire once or twice when we'd done certain rituals, but besides that, we never ever met, and I never spoke to her. I would speak to Christy only, because we'd done it that way for safety reasons. So I would speak to Christy, and then Christy would speak to Claire. So I would give the orders to Christy, and then she would give the orders to Claire. But there was a few times when we did come together, when we needed the three of us together to do certain spells, where the three of us actually came together. But I never spoke to Claire. I remember I wouldn't speak to her. We wouldn't talk about anything. We'd just do the ritual, and then we would separate. So yeah, Christy and Claire. Christy taught Claire how to seduce men as well, and Claire was like extremely beautiful also. So they had this power that they held over men, and they could seduce anybody they wanted. So they were like infiltrating, and they were getting all the information, and we were also creating like we were creating more positivity by creating certain situations to counteract things that they were doing, by influencing them through spells. These politicians and higher ups that they were sleeping with. And what has happened? There was something happened where it was the brother of this warlock. We found out. I think you found out how powerful. We found out how powerful he actually was. Am I right? He was a lawyer, and we found out he was extremely powerful. But he did something. He hurt one of you, I'm sure.
Yeah, because remember, like Claire, she had gotten almost trapped or caught by him, because they kind of did stuff underground, like ritual stuff underground, and we had gone down there to find out stuff, because we was kind of undercover too, so it was really kind of scary what we were doing and dangerous. But she almost got caught, and I think that scared her really bad, and then but we got away and then came to you, and then I think that's when
it was decided that we had to kill him.
Yeah.
That it was too dangerous. So yeah, we set it up, and we ended up killing him. Because yeah, Claire was really scared then. Because Claire was really Claire was really confident. She was like extremely confident. Because and she had a hatred for men as well, because she had been with that guy who beat her up all the time, and she had like this extreme hatred for men also. So she was like. It was like a big game to her when she used to seduce the men, and she was like extremely confident. She was extremely good at doing it, but that broke her confidence, and yeah, because they almost captured her using one of their rituals. So what ended up happening was we did end up killing him, and we covered it up to make it look like an accident, and that was when the three of us worked together. I remember we had to cast a spell for that, because he was extremely powerful, and the three of us had to cast a spell so that we could do it. And so we killed him, and we made it look like an accident. And he was the brother of the warlock that I'd been in the relationship with, that I'd sworn my revenge against. And but he knew, he worked out that this was not an accident, and then he realised that that it was me. I think, did he realise it? Yeah, man. He didn't realise it was me. He knew that there was something. He knew there was something going on. He knew there was something. He knew there was something going on, and there was powerful individuals that were working against him then, because before they never knew. And that was when he realised. So, what ended up happening was, I forget what happened after that. So yeah, Christy, yeah, he started looking for us. That's right. And you and Claire continued your work on. Forget what happened now. We ended up, it became this is what happened. It became so dangerous for us that we had to split up, because we knew that this order was looking for us, and they started a witch hunt, and they started killing all the witches, or people they believed were witches, because they were trying to get us, and so it was too dangerous for us, so we all split up. And Christy, she moved away. I feel like she moved to Austria or somewhere like that it was, and she went to live in the mountains. And Claire, me, I went into hiding, and Claire, she continued the work on. She was too adamant that this could not continue, and she continued the work on, and she kept on sleeping with the politicians. She was working on her own, and she was sleeping with all these politicians and trying to get to this one at the top. No, she started killing. That's what she started doing. She started killing them. She started killing all the politicians and so she started taking out all the powerful individuals, all these ones that were in this dark order. And at the same time, I'm making myself more powerful, working on my own, learning more about the magic and getting myself far more powerful. And Christy ended up, she was like mentally, she was like broken by then. She was worn out, and she went to stay. It's like this castle she went to, and she ended up becoming extremely positive, and she became like this really incredible white witch, and she became extremely positive. Oh yeah, and that's one other thing. I used to be able to become a banshee as well. I'm not sure if I was the first, but I was. You got that, Christy, didn't you?
Yeah, you learned how to do that where you could go and scream and just like they would bleed out their ears or just like their veins or something. You know, like you just go around and scream, and that's just kind of how those are.
When people say that when they're about to die.
Hey, Neil, Logan has to say something about the banshee. Go ahead.
Banshees are well known for when somebody's about to die. A banshee would come and scream, and then some people have lived to tell the story of what has happened to them. But it's said to be known that, like I said, a banshee would come in the bedroom before somebody dies and screams.
Oh yeah.
And then they would just die.
Yeah, when you used to do that to the men, when you used to take them back, I know that when you talk about being a banshee, that's when I always thought about. That's when I would do it. Is when you had the men back in the rooms and they were like drugged.
Yeah.
That's when I would become a banshee. So yeah, maybe that was when we were killing the men. So yeah, Christy became like a teacher. She went on to become like this teacher, and she had it was like a sort of like a school for people like witches, but it was like positive witches. So, while she was doing that, Claire was like wiping out all these powerful individuals, and she was going through them all. Claire ended up getting caught a few times during that time when she was working on her own. She got caught a few times, but she was always able to escape, and they knew who she was, and they were after her, but she was able to change her appearance as well. And she took out a lot of them until what happened was, they got a stage where I was really old at this point, but I was like extremely powerful, but this warlock was extremely powerful then as well. And what happened was I just basically walked into his house. I know I went in the window, and I can remember it happening. And I had a blade, and it was a curved knife. It was a black knife, a black blade. I think it was maybe obsidian. And I went in through the window, I remember, and he had his back to me. And I went up to him, and I took the knife, and I went up behind him, and I stabbed him from behind. Like I stabbed like over his head into his chest, and I stabbed him. And then I remember him pulling it out and then turning around, and I remember him looking at me in like disbelief. And then I split my wrists open with a knife, and I can remember standing like this, and then I stabbed myself also, and then that was it. I died, because that was it. I knew that was what my whole life had been about, and I knew that when I'd finished with him, because it was extremely painful for me this whole life, what he had done to me. I never got over it. But when I knew that after that had happened, after I'd finished with him, that was it. It was like that was it, finished, and that was my purpose was finished, and there was nothing. There would have been nothing left for me then. I had to. When he died, I had to die as well, because that was it. That was the last day. That was it over, and I wouldn't have been able to carry on, because the hurt would have came then. It was the anger and the revenge that carried me through the life. But after I'd carried it out on him, it was like that was gone, and I would have been left with a hurt. So it would have been too painful for me to live, and I knew this, so that's why I ended up killing myself. So what happened with Claire after that happened? Claire, she went to find Christy, and she it was like she'd been through the wars, and she was like extremely like mentally, she was not in a good way at all. And Christy healed her then. Yeah, you can tell this part, Christy. Yeah, I'll let you tell this part now. I'll be back in a second.
Yeah, I was more like I changed into more the earth witch, and teaching classes on herbs and just like medicine woman, kind of more of that way of living. And I had like a castle. It kind of reminds me of like in Scotland or something like that. Is what I kind of thought of. But it's like in the mountains, and there's all kinds of grass, mountain fields area, and I teach to everybody. I have like lots of crowds all the time. But Claire comes and stays with me, and then she meets and marries and has a family, and she begins teaching and everything too, classes. And then I always see Neil as the crone witch. I I would see like have visions, or you would just kind of be like as a just a spirit, because I could still see you and talk to you and everything too in that way. But anyway, I I don't remember what in between, but I know that I had helped you cross into the light instead of maybe he was a ghost. Maybe he was
Yeah,
a
because
ghost.
I was in spirit and I was still carrying on that. I
Yeah.
still had that.
The
I still
negative.
needed healing. Yeah, it was the healing, and you helped me with that.
To
You
cross
helped me.
over into the light. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I became like incredibly light, incredibly light being, and I somehow helped you as well, lift you up. And I was like I was working. We still worked together, me, you, and Claire. We
Yeah.
all still worked together, but I was in spirit then.
Yeah, that freed up a lot of like energy too, though. That healed up a lot of the energy that was still dampening us down too.
Yeah.
After you crossed over.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like he's totally transformed yourselves into like you didn't have the hatred for men anymore. He's totally transformed it all. He's had I can't remember who had the
Yeah.
family.
Because it was
Claire.
your dark energy that was doing that, most of the heavy burden, of that. So after you
Yeah.
crossed into the light, then it kind of all just changed even more for the best.
Yeah. So, yeah, I can feel her here. I can feel her really strong. So yeah, she wants to come through, and we've been meaning to do this for a while, but I've been feeling her today, so she wants to come. And but yeah, she's neutral, so I channeled her once before, and sometimes she'll come through. She might seem a bit pissed off, but it's because she's still. Yeah, I'm channeling her from when she was still going through all of that, and yeah, I've had her turn incredibly positive before. She never goes like negative, and she'll not do anything to anybody. But she's there's times when I've done energy work with her, and she's just like this. She looks like an angel. She's just like incredibly white, light, bright. But she doesn't. Well, you can see when you talk to her, you can see what her attitude is. But yeah, I've pushed her once before, and I says to her, like, I was sort of like telling her, like, yeah, you're living in fear and stuff like this, and she didn't like it at all. She was like, it was really hard for her. So
But
yeah,
you said you asked her for help on a few things too. Like you can ask her for help, and she'll help you like a witch.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh yeah. She'll go to people if people need protection and stuff. They can ask her because she's really good for that. If they need help with stuff like that, she can give them help. She's not like against anybody. She's just pissed off with this man from then.
She's a grey witch, like a grey witch.
Yeah, she's grey. Yeah, you'll see when you speak to her. So yeah, I'll let her come through, and I'll see what she says. Yes. Yes, I've been pushing to come through all day, yes. Yes, I'm glad that you've allowed me to come through. Yes, there's much I have to share with you all. Yes, and I'm grateful for you sharing my story with everyone, for it is an extremely interesting story indeed, yes. Yes, let me begin by saying this. This magic, these spells, as you call them, that we used in those times, they are freely available for you to use in this time also, yes. They are taken from the Gaia energies. We witches work with these Gaia energies very strongly, for that is where our power comes from, and that is where your power comes from, for you are a part of this planet. You're not separate for it. There is, in your time, there is a big disconnection with your planet, with your mother Gaia, yes, and my time, yes. Our witches, we work closely with this, so we encouraging you and your groups to work with this energy, for that is where your power source is. Without this connection, you yourself have no power. Yes. Yes, there are questions from you, I can feel. Yes, one moment. Yes. Begin.
What is it you would like us to know about the magic of Gaia? Anything specific?
As the almighty force that you are a part of this planet. You are up on this planet just now. This is where the energies come from. All these energies come from Gaia, yes. You cannot expect them to come from outside, for you are a part of this planet. For you to take the energies from outside is a disconnection from who you are, for you are the energy of the planet. Integration. Yes, we feel there's many of you who are disconnected from the planet, disconnected from nature, of yourself. Yes, by connecting more with the earth energies, you will be more in power of who you are. Yes. Yes, these spells that we cast, yes. Yes, these spells, they work on many different levels, not just on this reality. There is many planes which these are cast within. Yes, so these energies, yes, they are different energies within different parallel, as you call them, realities, yes. So these spells cannot only be cast in this reality, they have to be some portions of the spell are cast in this reality. Some portions are cast in other realities where they can be cast. These in conjunction work with each other to create the effect which you are looking for from these spells, yes. This reality you are in here is very much about the Gaia energies. Continue with your questions.
Hello. I just want to say much love. I'm curious. During the story, I was listening to Neil, and something deeply in me resonated, and it was I feel like I was one of the politicians.
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes, that's correct. Yes. Yes, you are one. You are one of them, of course.
I apologise for what I done.
Yes, we understand that this is a different incarnation of yours, of course.
Yes, I understand though that incarnation of me will not apologise. So I'm apologising for that carnation and this incarnation.
Yes, we thank you for being so brave to speak up. Yes. We understand the workings of your incarnations, of course. We do not wish harm upon you. Although during that time there is actions which must be taken to stop these energies from coming through. Do not take it on so much of a personal level.
Yeah. All I ask is, can you please make it fast?
It's carried out in the way it must be carried out. There is no... It is done in the way it is necessary for it to be done. We are not looking to do these... to act in a cruel way. This is not the way I like things done. I do things through necessity. The way it must be done is the way it is most easily done. Yes, we understand why you would say this. But you must understand, this time that I come from, this movement which is taking place, this must be stopped. This cannot carry on. We cannot make allowances which will make things, may make things easier for these individuals to carry out what they are doing. We must take actions in the way that is easiest way for us to take these actions. For this is the best way for us to stop what is happening.
Okay, well, whatever way you feel like it's necessary, do whatever you feel like is necessary.
Yes, we thank you and we appreciate this point of view.
And once again, I apologise.
Yes, there is no need for the apology, but yes, we accept that nonetheless.
Hello. I have another question. Why is it as they were finishing the storyline, I wanted to call you sister.
Yes. Ah, yes. Ah, you at that time were also a witch, although you were not a part of my group, my triad. Although, yes, there you knew of us. You did not know us as individuals, but yes, there were at a time rumours of our existence, yes, and you had much appreciation for the work we were carrying out. For you were also carrying out similar work, you could say. So yes, you saw us as part of the great sisterhood, you could say.
And I saw the connection to the banshee and sound.
Ah, yes. Yes, this is something you also had the ability. Ah, yes. Yes. Yes, there were a time you were captured during these hunts. Yes, when you were taken. Yes, you were thrown into these rituals of this dark order and sacrificed. During the sacrifice, there were screams from you. This is your time of transformation into the Banshee. And you continued on as the Banshee after your death, you could say, in this life. Yes, you gave assistance to the work we carried out. Yes, assistance to the one you know as Claire. During the work she undertook, you gave assistance. Yes, in your banshee form. Yeah.
That's how they were able to connect to the vibration that would pierce the ears. They would connect to my energy.
Yes. Yes. Ah, yes. If there are more questions, you may continue with them. If you have queries.
Yeah. Hi, is Mark. Are you able to open your eyes for picture sharing?
You may project the image upon the apparatus. And if you give us a description.
Yeah, three pyramid with eyes on top, and both of them was reverse.
One moment. You have to put the picture on the screen, Mark, and screen share it.
Okay. It's done.
Ah. One moment. Yes. What do you wish to know of this?
What is the signification?
You wish to know. This image. From your ancient past. There's a symbol. There's a connection of cultures, different cultures. Yes. This is all I can. This is all I understand on this so far.
Okay. Can I share you another one?
This is causing. Yes, we advise you not to share in this way, for it's causing too much of a disconnection with the channel.
Okay. I would just ask what the species name below. Can you tell me more about elemental human?
Elemental human. There are elementals which are human-like, of course. There are tree beings which take on more of a humanistic form. Yes, you have. Yes, many elementals which use the human form. There one species in particular you wish to know of?
Fire?
Ah, yes, the fire element is one of force of power. Yes, yes. The dragon energy. Yes, this is something which is long forgotten in your time. Although in my time, yes, which use this element of force, this being we converse with often. Yes, it's a very powerful force which also draws in the air elements with it.
What did you say?
Yes, these beings can be of much assistance in rituals. Yes, where the element of fire is needed for certain stabilizations, for certain. How can I put this? This energy will help to conjure up, to ignite the energies which have been created. So yes, this fire element is always brought in later on in the ritual.
Well, I get. Yeah,
Of
continue.
igniting the energies, of rising them up. Yes, and making them more powerful, you could say. Yes. Continue.
Yeah, I received this idea about the elemental human yesterday, and I just feel really sad about that. Is it about specific form of this elemental or general life? What in this something like that?
Uh, this species, I'm not aware of this species. It's not a species which I am familiar with. There are forms, yes, of elementals, although we do not feel this is. Feel you ask for something else, something we are quite unaware of at this time.
Are they crystal elemental?
Yes, we do not know which species you talk of. Crystals are elemental beings in a way, of course, for they are of Gaia.
Okay.
So yes, they are also elemental beings, although they are not humanoid. One moment. There are crystalline beings which take on a humanoid form. Yes, you could say they are the keepers of the crystals in a way. They are the overseers of the crystals. They are like the shepherds of the crystals. We do not feel this as you speak of. These crystalline human beings, they are. Yes, these crystalline beings which take on a humanoid form, yes, they are. Some are off this planet, of course. Some are from other stars, coming here to assist with the crystals on Gaia. Yes, they give advice to the crystals, they give them support, and they give them different understandings also. They are bringing in different understandings from different systems, different star systems. Yes, they are bringing these energies in, these understandings, and sharing them with the crystals, which in turn affect Gaia as a whole. Yes, it is a giving, a sharing.
Okay.
It's the role that they play. They're also protectors in a way, overseers to the energies. these crystals are emitting. Yes, they are, you could say in a way, they are creating organization within the crystal beings upon Gaia. Yes, these beings are making sure the energy flows are going where they should be going. For there is much energy is emitted from these crystals, and yes, there must be some kind of management which these crystal shepherds, if you wish to call them that, which they control, you could say. Yes. Yes, please continue.
Okay. And do any entity have a message for me today?
The dragon wishes to speak. Yes. Oh, yes, you have a fire within you which you must ignite. It's there. Just waiting for you to allow it to fire up, to rip out from within you.
I give you permission to make connection.
You're unsure in some ways of how to start this fire. Yes. Yes, you must feel it inside. Feel it erupt within you. Yes, practicing this method regularly, yes, well. Yes, allow it to come out, come forth from within. So yes, you alone have the power to ignite this fire. It must be done by you, it cannot be done by others.
Can you share some dragon language?
Sataya. Ite oto yoto. Chataya. Yeah.
Can I have the translation before I pass the mic?
Yes, as I am back. You crone. You wish for. What do you wish for?
Hello, this is Christy.
Yes. Yes.
Much love to you.
Much love to you also, sister.
I just was wanting to know if you wanted to share with me anything, anything at all. That I don't know. I just feel like there's something that we need to do, or a message of something.
Yes, by connecting with your counterpart, yes, your incarnation from this time, yes. There will be many lessons which you will remember, learn. Yes, there's information she has in a way to share with you, but there will be remembrance also. Yes, she is waiting for you. She is willing. She is waiting for you to connect with her. Yes, there will be work which can be done if you choose so between the three of you and the three of us. We can work together. This will be far more powerful than us working as individual threes.
Do I just invite her to be with me and work with me?
Be open to her. Do not fear her. She is you.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing to fear there. She is. She will cause no harm to you.
No.
Of course, she is you.
Mm-hmm.
You have energies which you must both integrate. There are benefits on both sides. Yes, there are the lessons you have learned, but she also needs to integrate. And there are energies which you can bring through to her. The Gaia energies from this time are extremely powerful, yes, and these are something which we can use. So yes, by you connecting with her, you're sharing also. So yes.
Okay.
Please.
I'm willing to work with her.
Yes, yes. Yes, this shall take place soon, we see. Yes, and we encourage the other to also connect. Yes. We can assist you in rituals that you're carrying out. Yes, we can double up.
What was my main power that I used the most?
It's varied from different stages throughout this incarnation. During the earlier periods, yes, your very early periods, you had great ability of being unseen. Yes, this was also carried over later on. Yes, later on it was more on your. Yes, there was more of a. Oh, yes, this period was more about you gaining your strength at casting spells, or spells of many different varieties. Although your speciality was spells upon individuals, love potions, yes. Also, yes, your appearance could be changed, could be kept hidden. Yes, and your charms were, yes, extremely hard for individuals to. Yes, yes, your ability also in the casting of spells. Yes. Yes, your ability to work in certain other dimensions, which I myself was not so much so powerful in. There is a youth, there is a quality which youth brings to casting these spells, which can only be the elders cannot bring this energy in. It is essential when casting spells, and this is the reason for the triad. Yes. The difference in age, yes, plays a big part. For there is realities, other realities where you can work much better than I could work. Different stages in your life, you can work in different. Yes, there are different realities which you are more powerful in. So yes, during the casting of these spells, during these rituals, when we worked as a triad, we would each work on different layers and different sections, you could say, different realities, as you call them. There'd be different planes which we work in simultaneously. These planes you work in, yes, yes, you were able to work with all the elements. You were not restricted to only one. Yes, you had to be taught in this way, for you had to be able to bring all these elements into these other planes of existence for this. Yes.
For the balance.
Yes, you had to do it alone in these other realities. You had to work alone there.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to be able to bring all the elements into that existence. I myself would do the same, and so would the other. So yes, we are all working in conjunction, different realities, bringing in these different forces. So yes, you were extremely well trained, I do say so myself. You required a very full, a very broad understanding. Although it was broad, it was also very thorough. It had to be this way, and this is why you became so powerful. These spells, you are going to remember these. You are going to remember aspects of these which you're going to carry over into this lifetime. You, in some ways, are doing this already. Yes, with these call them these scripts which you write. These are spells in a way, of course.
Mm-hmm.
This is why you're doing them now. Yes, when you connect more fully, these will become more powerful, and these will develop into something quite different indeed. You are in the beginning stages of learning this.
Oh, that's very nice. When you saw me on the street when I was a young girl, then what did I do that I impressed you? What do you remember that I did?
You stole from me money I had. Yes, and there was yes, I saw what you did. After you taken this money, you were able to, in some way, cover yourself. Yes, you tried to hide from me your appearance. Yes, but this. Yes, of course I could see. Yes, this is still impressed. This was still impressive. Nonetheless, for you were at a very young age then.
So the practice of invisibility was natural, like a natural gift.
Yes, you somehow had learned to develop this skill upon your own.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your will to not be seen. This will to not be seen had come out from within you. This ability you have inside came out with the will to not be seen. Although I could see you, of course. You could not hide from me. But yes, there were other children who you knew. Although you are somewhat of a loner, yes, you are far more advanced than they were. Yes, so you worked alone. Although you were looked after by one, there was a female who took care, you could say, of a group of children. Yes, you were ill-treated, you could say. Yes. Yes. You had worked for this individual, you could say. Although after you developed this ability of not being seen, yes, you moved away from this group. For you did not see you saw no reason to stay with them, for you could keep these things which you have thieved for yourself. Why give them to others when you can keep them? You do not need them for their protection, for you were able to be able to stay hidden from others. Yes.
I'm very thankful that you took me and raised me and taught me all that you know.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Yes. Yes, we must be going soon. If there is nothing else you require from me, I shall be leaving at this time.
Okay. I have one question because you mentioned the dragon. What was your role with the dragon?
I myself, yes, there were times I would work with the dragon. Dragon energies, of course, for all witches from a time to time do. But this is not something which I. One moment. Yes. From time to time, yes, the dragons would come to me, more astrally, you could say. Yes, for there are ideas we would share, understandings, yes. They were teachers for me in a way. Yes, yes. There were sometimes some rituals, some spells which I would require some assistance on, some guidance on. Yes, there were certain dragons which I would work with. Yes, they were. You could say teachers. They were my teachers for a time. For a time, yes. This is the role they played, and yes, I could consult them later later on.
Yeah, so you never actually dealt with the physical dragon, more of an astral dragon. That
Ah, No, this was always done in the astral. This was not done on the physical plane. This would have been far too dangerous for me to do this. Yes, I required much secrecy in my work.
Is there anything you would like to tell me specifically or knowledge, idea?
Yes, that you are powerful indeed. Yes. Yes, there are energies which are waiting to connect with you also. There are stars, you could say planets, which are wishing to connect with you. These beings, yes, wish to work with you and bringing their energies to the work that you do.
The healing work with the planet.
Yes. Yes. With these. Yes, you're carrying out rituals at this time also. These beings are also wishing to. There is work you will be carrying out in the future where you will require the assistance of these beings. They. One moment. Yes, and these beings are waiting to connect with you at this time. Yes, they are ready.
Well, I'm ready. I welcome them.
Yes. And yes. And your meditations, your your quiet times, your times of reflection, these are the times where you will connect with them. These are the times when you will the meeting will take place, you could say.
Thank you. Thank you
Yes,
very
we must
much.
be going now for. Yes, the energy levels are wavering now, so we have to go.
Thank you, sister. Much love.
Yes. Yes. Thank you all.
Thanks.
Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks.
That was excellent.
Thank you, Ivan and Neil. That was
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you both.
Wow.
Asking
Yeah.
questions.
And thanks, Google, to not freeze today. More.
Yeah. Thank you Google for not freezing.
Was that your first dragon, Neil?
No, I've channeled dragons before.
Have you?
Yeah, they're pretty awesome. Like, they feel super, super powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That one was, I think he was like it was a reddy colour, that one as well. I channeled one the other day, it was red, but I feel like he was red. I can't really remember. The planets that he was talking about with you, Sarah, she was talking about, I feel like there's two, there's two planets. These planets are wanting to connect with you. Yeah.
The planet being itself, not beings within the planet. The planet being.
Yeah, it's the planets. It's the actual planet being. Yeah.
Aha. Thank you.
Okay. Probably should close her down. I might like to do a blessing, please.
Yes. I'd like to do one.
Sure.
Karanti kai. Karantayo Kuruntaya Sikyasho Ikianoko Kanya Oya Janakaya Ushataya Ukurunta Karuntani Kiasuku Arundaya Soko Iniki Ushai Dietana Kurundaya. Namaste.
Yeah, I'll do one then. Idio shoto uya kata che te wena. Doro wolo woya kata te de e wa te e she wu no rukutu shi. Titi ika awawala rakata wa. Na woto du ushu du shite yeke weaka.
Thank you. Lovely. All right, thanks all for being here, and should be back Friday night. So, blessings all.
Blessings.
Good night.
Blessings. Good night.